As COVID continues to surge and spread across the national capital, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has just tweeted confirming that he too unfortunately has tested positive for COVID. He has said, and I quote, "I've tested positive for COVID, mild symptoms, have isolated myself at home. Those who came in touch with me in the last few days, kindly isolate yourself and get yourself tested." So the Delhi Chief Minister confirming that unfortunately he too has tested positive for COVID. We all, of course, are wishing him a speedy recovery. But Amit, the information that Kejriwal has put out is that he's experiencing mild symptoms. So there's no question of a hospitalization. He is being isolated at home. He's been attending a number of government meets also in the last few days.
Absolutely right. This is the big breaking news for the Delhi residents as well. You know, the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal himself has tested positive. And while his symptoms are mild, which would mean that he would be home isolating, he would not need hospitalization. But the fact is that in the past couple of days, or rather in the past couple of weeks, he was attending a series of political rallies in the state of Uttarakhand and Punjab. And in fact, he had also addressed a couple of meetings in Goa. So as a politician, you know, this is an electioneering season where the politicians need to go out and seek votes for their party. And that also comes at risk of, getting infected by this virus. And, there have been a lot of pondering upon, or, people have been questioning the idea of holding such large gatherings and political rallies, especially considering the fact that the way cases are surging across the country. The bottom line here is that Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal would be home isolating. It's mild symptom. He would not need any sort of hospitalization as of now. And it is to be seen. His office would, in some time from now, likely confirm whether he would be attending today's meeting virtually or not. Because remember, he was also expected to attend the DDMA meeting scheduled for 11 a.m. today.
That's right. So we don't know if he'll attend the meeting, but at this point, the information we have is that he has mild symptoms. He is isolating at home. Perhaps this also largely, Amit, will rekindle that debate that's been going on for so long now about political rallies, because Mr. Kejriwal has been very busy campaigning for the last many days in Punjab.
Absolutely right, and there have been people who have been raising question, that the citizens have been raising question, and the market associations have been raising question that when curtailments are coming in, when curbs are coming in for the commoners, why the political rallies are being allowed, at such a large scale in the state of Punjab, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, and even in the state of Goa. That question has become even more pertinent right now. And considering the fact that Delhi Chief Minister, who is also the head of Aam Aadmi Party, was continuously on a election campaign, especially in the state of Punjab and Uttarakhand. And in fact, in this week, he had also addressed a big rally in Lucknow, which is the capital of Uttar Pradesh. So that question has become even more pertinent now.
Absolutely. This is something that perhaps, hopefully, will wake up our political system and our leaders to the fact that we simply cannot afford to have these kind of mega events at a time when Omicron is spreading so fast. The Delhi Chief Minister testing positive for COVID. At this point, the confirmation from him, he's tweeted to say that he has mild symptoms and that he is isolated at home as well. Are there any other ministers in the Delhi government now, Amit, who will have to get tested after coming in contact with Mr. Kejriwal?
Well, that is to be seen, because I remember yesterday there was a Delhi Assembly session, and today it is the day 2 of that particular session. And obviously, when you have Assembly sessions, the cabinet of ministers, the top ministers, at least, or the officials, do meet the Chief Minister to strategize as to what is to be said in the House, what is to be tabled in the House. All those issues are definitely discussed either in the Assembly itself or, in-person meetings. Now, that is to be seen as to what scale of these ministers and MLAs of Aam Aadmi Party had met Arvind Kejriwal in the last 24 or 48 hours. And all these people will obviously have to go through RT-PCR test, and then only the complete picture will be clear as to whether, this infection has spread in other members of the government right now. But that will have to wait for a while in order to get a confirmation on that particular aspect.
All right, Amit, thank you for getting us all of those details. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal taking to Twitter to confirm that he's tested positive for COVID. He has mild symptoms and he's isolated at home. Again, like I mentioned, while we are all, of course, praying for a speedy recovery, this perhaps will again put the spotlight on one of the issues that must be discussed and addressed. These massive political rallies and the threat it really causes for all Indians across the country during a surge of Omicron cases.